Okay. I'll start with this. Our team obviously has not been perfect this year, but I do know one thing about the men in that locker room. The last 48 hours, I know how categorically, unequivocally, how badly and desperately our group wanted to get into this damn thing and get into the playoffs to have an opportunity to compete for a title. And that's the part that I love about this group. Even when there's some frustrating times during the season, I know how badly the guys want to win and how much they put into it. And it was just great to see, that competitive spirit. It was a classic old school Eastern Conference game. There wasn't a lot of open shots. It was just ground and pound, to try to generate enough offense. Both teams were defending the heck out of it. It looked like at one point that this game wasn't even going to get into the 90s. Every inch was competed for on that court. And I guess we've had more experience in all these kind of close games down the stretch, and hopefully that prepared us for this moment and hopefully for more moments to come.
You just alluded to it, but going through whatever it was, 55 or whatever it was of these clutch things, just how much did that prepare this team for that ultimate challenge of a tie game with 5 minutes to go in your season on the line?
Yeah, it's like you have all these emotions and this competitive week, like literally this week, just with 2 games, well, 3 games, and if you count UD's, like the emotions and everything, it feels like we're in round 2 already, and then we just earned the right now to start the playoffs. But damn, we're grateful for that. We wanted to get in this damn thing, and we're looking forward to the next challenge.
How much of the offense down the stretch was just get the ball to Jimmy and work through him in clutch time? Yeah,
that was part of it, and I thought the actions that we got to, were coherent. To be able to loosen up the defense a little bit. And everybody was able to get to their spacing very quickly. But again, that's the 50-plus games that we've been in a lot of these situations. And then he just willed it, down the stretch. Getting to the basket, getting the and ones, getting to the free throw line, setting guys up, setting Max up, for that the 3 free throws. And then none of this is happening if Bam wasn't so electric defensively. He really was traffic copping everything that they were doing. He just seemed to be in 3 places at once at all times, the 17 rebounds. And then I thought it was fitting that he got the block at the end. But look, Chicago is a tough team. They really defend. It's not like you're going to generate a lot of easy opportunities right at the rim to be able to get into, good rhythm, as a basketball team. They're well-schooled, well-drilled, well-coached, and they're committed on that side of the floor. So we had to win this one in the mud.
Instead of a question, I'll just give you 2 words. Max Strus.
Yeah. He just, like a lot of our guys, he has that grit and that perseverance. His routine never changes in terms of starting his shooting workouts, whether we're on the road, he's always meets us there, gets in his routine before we arrive, after practice, before games. He just stays consistent all the way through, and that's what you can commit to, not having a guarantee of any kind of results. But if you just continue to plug away, you stay with your process, eventually the floodgates come open, particularly if you just stay the course and have that kind of perseverance and grit. And you're really happy for guys, like Max, when they have to go through a lot of different stuff, during an NBA season. It's not all roses, but I think that develops some competitive character, and I think he's really grown just overall this season.
Erik, what happened with Kyle late? Did the knee flare up?
No, I think I'm not totally sure. It was like he took a hit, then he like collided with people. So he says he's fine. We'll reevaluate tomorrow, and I may or may not have a better answer for you guys. Probably not tomorrow. Maybe before the game on Sunday.
Because this league waits for no one. Boom, on the flight tomorrow.
Yeah,
game
I
Sunday.
prefer that.
Good. So my question to you is the Milwaukee Bucks and what they did this year, and going from sort of the fire into the fire.
Yeah.
I know you haven't had a lot of chance to look at it, but just your thoughts, just preliminary on you playing the #1 Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I like what you were about to say right there. I want to breathe that into existence. We have great respect for them, but we feel like we're Navy SEALs. Just drop us off in parachutes and let's go compete.
You can laugh about this one, unlike last year, but could you believe that Max Strus's heel did him in yet again on a 3 that came?
I have not seen this replay yet, but everybody said it's the exact same thing.
This one was, unlike last year, he was actually out this time.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Buzzkill.
I'm sorry. I didn't want you
I thought it wasn't
want you to perjure yourself.
definitive on the replay.
It looked.
You had a different. Okay. Well, they were wrong. That replay's wrong. They should have given us that one just for the one last year. Just gift us that one.
It seemed like Caruso was doing a good job sort of denying Jimmy the ball in the first half. What was sort of the key to turning that matchup around in the second half, do you think?
Yeah, he's a great competitor. You have to respect that he's extremely detailed. He's physical. He's bigger than what you think he is. So he can match up against bigger guys like Jimmy. So the natural inclination is to try to get Jimmy in the post, and we did maximize that, when we could. But Caruso does a great job bodying and fronting and denying, in the post. It's tough to get him the ball, easily. So, we just kind of shifted to more of a pick and roll game with Jimmy, and that just shows his versatility that we had, changed course a little bit in the fourth quarter, and he was just brilliant in those pick and roll decisions. I guess he probably had every decision you could possibly make in a handful of those pick and rolls. Score, and one, dish to Bam, dish to Max. But that's part of Jimmy's greatness, that he can adapt based on what's needed for the game.
We talked yesterday about maybe lineup changes, and obviously you didn't make any. And I think I remember a game last year in the playoffs where you could have gone away from Max and he came back and had a game like he did tonight. What is it about him, or having just a feeling that he, after a rough night or a rough couple nights, that he can come through like this?
Yeah, regardless, you can depend on his his competitive character, his competitive toughness. He's going to do other things. He's not just a spot-up shooter. He still provides space, and he's a bigger body, to help us on the glass. And he works at it, so he's ignitable. Watch out. Like, if he hits 2 or 3, then it can turn into a night like this. And he's had quite a few of those nights, and he's not dependent on that to impact the game. But he's just stayed the course, and I've enjoyed watching how much he's grown as a basketball player this year, even though his 3-point percentage isn't the same as last year. And I think people immediately say, okay, he was doing a better job last year. I think he's doing a lot of good things, this year.
Just another one on Jimmy. It seemed like halfway through the fourth, it might have been getting away a little bit. I think it was a 4-point game, and Jimmy jumps the action, gets a steal, ends up going down court, gets a layup.